TV, great to have you with us. Second show of the season, season number 9. If you weren't with us last night, we kicked it all off with a look at the youth divisions for 2018. Tonight we do the same for the seniors. Good evening, Justin Nelson, Craig Freeman with you. 5 nights a week, Monday to Friday, 5:30 p.m. coming your way. It's a new season and we're looking forward to it.
Yeah, great to be back. Same things you loved from last year, hopefully a little better even. We've changed the Friday show. I'm excited.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. A little bit of a glimpse to what's coming up later on in the week. Tomorrow, we are catching up with, well, some are calling them the power couple of the Big V, the glamour couple. Who knows? They are out there at Casey, and we're looking forward to catching up with, his mates call him Raheem, I call him Lenny. Lenny Lemons and Tanali Hood at the Casey Cavs. They're on the show tomorrow night. Thursday night, Craig, we are going back and having a look at those who are gone but not forgotten. I've been tasked with coming up with 5 from the men's divisions, 5 from the women's divisions, no longer playing in the Big V. They're gone, but they're certainly not forgotten. So that's coming up on Thursday night. Then Friday night, we're back here and we're looking at the biggest games of round 1 coming your way right across the 12 divisions. So it's a big week.
Yeah, and you know what the best thing about getting rid of the tip show is?
You get to keep your hair for one more season.
Exactly.
Hey, listen, by the way, I saw the promo for Big V that came out, Big V TV that came out last week. I was asked to do little snippets. I had no idea what the end result was going to be. Come on, mate, you guys absolutely stitched me up.
We actually chose the best cuts.
The best cuts.
The best cuts.
Is that what it was? Rightio, Division 2 women. Let's have a look at it for season 2018. Here's the teams in the competition. Interesting, Melton coming back to the competition. Great to see the thoroughbreds there, and no doubt they will have some familiar names. I think the Conroy sisters are already back there, Jenna and Lauren. Lauren Olcorn, I believe, is going to be running around as well. So they've got the old band back together again out there at Melton. And Sherbrooke are back into the competition. Some good signs there.
Yeah, great to see 2 stalwarts of the competition from going back into the league. And it's going to be a competitive one. Again, we've got some new competitive teams to add into the list. Coburg have lost some players but also picked up some players this year going into the season. Brianna O'Connor is their 2018 import. Excited to see her rolling around out there.
Some of their really gun youth players have gone as well, headed across to Warrandyte. More on that a little bit later on. Did I see Aussie sensation Molly Urquhart Moran is playing for Sherbrooke?
Yeah, she is back at Sherbrooke. Was at Coburg a couple of seasons ago, had a few years off, Big V. Great to see her back in the league.
Gold medal winner.
Gold medal winner with the Australian Pearls.
Yes.
One of the best players the Pearls have ever seen, maybe the best, and great to see her back out there playing Big V.
Now you mentioned Brianna O'Connor going to Coburg, replacing Deslin Applewhite. David Allage is the new coach down there as well, coming up from Southern Penn, or down on the peninsula. As we said, the teams, Blackburn, Coburg, Collingwood, Craigieburn, Melbourne Uni, I love my Black Angels, you know I love them. Looking forward to seeing Fina Newton and all the girls out there in action. Fiddler on the roof, Melbourne Uni, I'll be on their bandwagon throughout the year. Melton, Mornington, there's been some changes out there at Mornington, a lot said in the off-season, so we're not sure how this team's going to look. North East, I want to see them really get up and make some inroads this season. Sherbrooke and Wallen, who were very good in their debut season.
They were North East a little disappointing last year. I had higher expectations. I think they'll bounce back this year, and Mornington, I think, might slide down the rankings, but be great to see if they could fight it out.
Are you with me on Melbourne Uni? Are you part of the band?
I am.
Part of the crew down there?
And I think with Warrnambool moving up, I think it brings the rest of it all down. They're all clustered together. It could be a really exciting season.
Opens it right up. There's D2 women. Let's have a look at Division 2 men. There's been plenty of news in D2 men in the off-season, and none bigger than Mornington, who were a late withdrawal.
Yeah, as we said, a bit of turmoil down there. A lot of chatter. Unfortunate to see them drop out of the league, but it's still going to be very competitive. We've got Maccabi coming back into the league.
Great to see the boys there. Yep. Great to see the Warriors up and going again. Altona, Camberwell, Coburg, Craigieburn, Maccabi, Melton, head down, Mildura, North East, Pakenham, Sherbrooke, Southern Penn and Wallen. So the good news is that there's still a couple of very good road trips for the boys heading to Mildura and North East. Pakenham were a revelation last season. Got a lot of great mates down there. Looking forward to seeing Pakenham right there at the business end again this season. I think we will see them there. They just came up short to Collingwood. I went down there for a practice match. They had a big crowd for a practice game. They get right behind their team down there at Pakenham.
Still could be the best crowd in Big V, rolling around out there in Pakenham. We made the trip down. It was the best atmosphere I saw at a Big V game all last season. I think they're going to be competitive again.
You only got into that game because you were with me, by the way. If you had have rolled up by yourself, you would have been turned away at the door.
I'm just hoping that you can say Josh B. Allen properly this year, because we copped some complaints last year for that.
He's a good man, Josh. Very, very good man. Looking forward to seeing how Mildura go. Always strong at home. They need to win some games on the road this season. Southern Penn, that rebuild, I think they're going to be okay. And of course, Wallen really showed us some good signs last season.
Team we didn't mention there, Craigieburn, actually finished first last year. Didn't play up to their expectations in finals. I think it's fair to say they'll be back with a vengeance heading into this season, and Southern Penn are my pick to take it out this year. I think.
Southern Penn,
yeah, I think they're going to be really good. They got a lot of young players in last season, giving them their first taste of senior action at Big V.
It's still a bit green behind the ears there, mate. Give it a month before we start putting tips in. A bit of a whisper, Jordan Jackatine has gone from Dandenong VYC to Pakenham as well, so that's going to help them if that's the case.
Yeah, another great addition to that team. They've got some young players coming through the ranks that are going to be really good going forward.
Let's go to Division 1 Women. Look, a lot of movement here and some big names coming in. Let's have a look at the teams to start off with. Camberwell, Casey, Chelsea, Geelong, Hawthorn, Latrobe City, Mildura. Warrandyte come down from state champ. Of course, they won a title in 2013 in D1 Women, went up to state champ. They're now back. Warrnambool head up from Division 2. That's exciting. Werribee, Western Port and Whittlesea. 5 teams starting with W, by the way. Now, one of the biggest movements in the off-season is this one right here, Tenali Hood.
Yeah, and not just Tenali Hood, but she is obviously a massive factor. Casey had a very busy off-season. They added D1 champion Billy Lucas as well as a couple of other players into the fray. They're going to be really competitive, but Tenali Hood, 22 points a game, 8 rebounds, one of the best players in the competition. I'm sure that she's going to have a huge impact on Casey.
Well, let's put it on them right now for the Cavs, because they've gone all out. It's not just a couple of other players. Tenali Hood, Billy Lucas, Shannon and Keely Patterson. The Patterson girls go there respectively from Warrandyte and Dandenong. Lonnie Jeffs, Jamie Lee Jeffs, and Rebecca Jones joins from Sherbrooke as well. Casey are going all out, Craig. They want to get up to state champ level to match their men as well, and they are leaving no stone unturned. We catch up with Tenali Hood tomorrow night.
Yeah, big things going on at Casey. They've got the new stadium to play in. They really want to be a premier team in the competition, have both teams up there in the top division.
Yep.
And they're doing great things off the court, and it's time to put it together for them.
Sam Moody goes from Bulleen to Werribee. Warrandyte have picked up a trio of players from Coburg. Now, they were youth players at Coburg. I'm not sure whether they're going in as senior players at Warrandyte, but some familiar names. Elo McBeggar, McAdoo, Siobhan McAdar goes across to Warrandyte as well, and Sasha Falaccio as well. So their last game, by the way, was at Warrandyte as a part of the losing youth team in the grand final against the Venom. Now they wind up playing there.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. I think they're all good enough to push for senior contention as well. It's going to be great to see them at new teams. Bit harsher, Coburg, they're going to have to fill a void there.
Whittlesea is an interesting one to watch in D1 Women as well. Hayley Munro goes in as their playing or player coach. She'll be coaching, but she'll be playing as well. A lot of experience. WNBL player.
Yep.
A lot of experience. They've picked up Elise Lambrew and Holly Bowman as well, crossing over from Camberwell. Maybe Elise is on the coaching staff there. What do Hayley Munro and Elise Lambrew have in common?
What?
I think they're both police officers.
Right.
So look at you won't want to be getting up to too much trouble out at Whittlesea this season.
One other player you didn't mention was LT Poa, who was at the COE. She's played on the Sapphires for Australia. Very bright star, 16-year-old. I think it's going to be very interesting to see how she goes. Great handle, great guard.
All eyes on Casey right now. All eyes on Casey.
The expectations are high. They've set it for themselves.
They have some news out of Chelsea. Malika Jackson was signed to play there again as their import. I believe some illness in the family has had to go home, so expect a change there at Chelsea, I think, coming up.
Yeah, that's disappointing to hear. One of the stars of the competition and Chelsea were great last year.
Let's go to Division 1 Men. Great division to watch. Let's bring the team straight up. Bulleen, Chelsea, Collingwood, new coming up, by the way, Collingwood. Geelong, Keysborough, Latrobe City, Melbourne Uni, Shepparton, Sunbury, Warrandyte, Warrnambool, Western Port and Whittlesea come down from state champ men. No Dom Bruno, by the way. He'll be playing for Werribee in state champ men. So a big loss there for Whittlesea. Let's go through it because Bulleen, you may not have heard the news. Damon Bozeman not on the way back, but Thad Varmel returns to Australia. That's an exciting addition.
2014 superstar. In that year with Bulleen, he averaged 25 points, 6 rebounds, shot it at 46% from the field. Will be one of the best players in the competition, someone to watch for all season.
No doubt. Looking forward to it. Matt Bartlett returns to Shepparton, and he's an exciting pickup. But some good news down for Warrnambool.
Yeah, they've got Xavier Blunt back in the lineup. 29.5 points per game, 9 rebounds. Ball is in his hands a lot with Warrnambool. He does a lot of stuff for them.
Out of this world, isn't it? 36, 35, 36.
Yeah, it's up there. Look, he's a great player, and he sets up a lot of the play for Warrnambool.
Glenn Wansborough has gone to Chelsea. Nick Ross has gone from Pakenham to Chelsea. Billy Phoeben has gone to Geelong. Geelong have lost a few players. More on that in a moment when we talk state champ men.
Yeah, and Geelong, I heard that they went down. They've had a couple of practice matches, and it was a very young lineup that they're rolling out for their Div 1 team.
You're going to see a lot of imports, of course, new faces. Keysborough's got a new import. Saw him a few weeks ago after he just stepped off the plane. He looks like a tidy little addition for them as well. A lot's been said about Collingwood in the off-season. Are they going to be able to compete up to the level of D1 men? We're going to find out pretty quickly.
Yeah, they haven't made too many changes. They're running with a pretty similar lineup to last year. It's going to be very interesting to see how they go out there.
Bulleen look a little bit thin for mine as well, even though Varmel's going in there. Keep an eye on them. We'll see how they go as well. Let's go to state champ women, Craig, for a Tuesday night on Big V TV. Keilor are the new team coming in. Is that correct?
Keilor are the team coming up after a great season last year.
Bulleen, Eltham, Hume City, Keilor, Knox, McKinnon, Ringwood, Southern Peninsula, Sunbury and Waverley. Now there's a fair bit to talk about because Sunbury, the reigning champs, have lost their league MVP Courtney Doover, of course, suffered an injury during the WNBL season for the Boomers, but they have brought in Jess Scannell, Molly Greetham, Chloe Tidswell and Courtney Ragg. Courtney Ragg, of course, a former WNBL player as well. I've also heard, speaking of WNBL, Elise Penaluna.
Yes, they've
going to Sunbury.
They've lost last year's MVP, and they've replaced her with 5 very, very, very good players, I believe.
They look good, Sunbury, no doubt about it. McKinnon, Ariel Thomas is back. I think she'll miss the first couple of rounds.
Yep.
But we'll be back, I believe, for round 3. They've also picked up ex-Nunna Wadding import Megan Critcher. Hume City, Mick Thomas, the new head coach, Lisa Murphy and Kelly Hardiman, the 2 imports there. Southern Peninsula, Caitlin Melito is back. Jazz Shelley also back for the team as well.
Absolute superstar.
Exciting pickup.
Only 18 years old, but she'll start at point guard for them, and they've actually named her as the captain, which shows how big their faith is in her, and great to see Caitlin Melito back in the league after an injury.
Amanda Myking goes from Warrandyte across to Ringwood. Desi Ramos is an import for Ringwood. Keep an eye on her as well. What are your thoughts here?
I think McKinnon picking up Critcher is a big pickup because they were a little too reliant on Ariel Thomas last year. Spread the load a little bit. I think they can be dangerous. I think it's a really bunched up competition again. I think there's going to be a bunch of teams pushing for the top 4.
I think Cunningham and Bowen both back for Waverley as well. I did say to you earlier on the show, don't tip anything until we're about a month in, but
he can't help himself.
Sunbury's very good.
Sunbury are always very good.
They are going to be
one
right
of the best
up there
coaches in the league, some of the best talent in the league.
Let's go to State Champ Men to finish it off for a Tuesday night. And there's a lot to like about State Champ Men again. It was a ripping division last season. It'll be one of the best to keep an eye on this season as well. Keilor and Blackburn both come up from D1 Men. I really like what both of these programs are doing, and they are going all out, especially Keilor, to make an impact in Season 1. Let's have a look at the teams. Blackburn, Casey, Corio Bay, Eltham, Hawthorn, Hume City, Keilor, Knox, McKinnon, Ringwood, Waverley, Werribee, Keilor, Blackburn in, DV out across to Siebel, and also Whittlesea go down. Some news out of Ringwood.
some news out of Ringwood is Mike McCarthy, unfortunately, not back.
Just on Ringwood, obviously shooters, always a shooter, but they just always seem to recruit really catchy names, don't they?
Yeah, they do. I reckon what they do is they scroll through the stats, they filter out all the bad names, and they choose the best player from the remaining names.
Scotty Stone, I reckon that's a name that's going to stick for sure. Looking forward to seeing the Hawks. They're going for a three-peat. I did see some press last week where they've immediately jumped to the position of taking pressure off their shoulders. Not about the three-peat, not about the three-peat. Let's just go out there and be competitive, and we'll see what happens.
It's all about the three-peat.
It's all about the three-peat, Hawks. You can't push that to one side. It's an absolute dynasty out there. They've been a juggernaut, and it is all about the three-peat.
Yeah, they have such a good core that every year when they add their import or two to the lineup, it just fits and it works perfectly.
It's experience though, isn't it? As soon as you front the media for the first time, you just walk as far away as you can from talk around 3 in a row. But we will not be letting up. It is all about 3 in a row. Eltham have lost Simon Grant and James Malvasso. James Malvasso's gone to Blackburn, by the way. Mitch Lee comes in from DV. Eltham, very good last season. They love their Australian contingent down there.
Yeah, but huge news out of Eltham is they might be adding 2 imports.
No way.
This year.
Going away from the Aussie flag,
it's
flying high.
all in. They're going all
they're
in
not.
on this year.
Surely not. All right, we'll keep an eye on that. Well, we're going to find out because it's round 1 coming up this week. Tommy Boyle and James Malvasso have gone to Blackburn. I'm not sure what to expect from the Vikings. I think they
can be very competitive. I think they can be very competitive. I'm high on both teams coming into the league this year. I think it's going to be a really great league. Keilor have got some talent in their lineup.
Well, they have, and they've also added Mitch Alush from Werribee, great young player, but some experience as well with Jason Todorov and Sammy Gazzo. But they've got some quality players, got a couple of imports as well.
I'm excited to see how their young players stack up in the elite competition as well. It's going to be great to see.
McKinnon's picked up Adrian Tamata from Knox, really good addition, exciting young player. Dominic Bruno, speaking of exciting young players, Whittlesey to Werribee. Daniel Steen has gone to Knox from Sherbrooke. Corio Bay. Now, Hutchie's coaching out there, and I reckon Hutchie will find a way to manufacture 30 minutes for himself out there every game. They've added Steve Wysack, Jackson Bentley and Dane Bowe, all from Geelong. And John Jones comes in as an import, played at Mount Gambier last season. I like what they've done. It's a quick turnover of players. They've changed direction. And, of course, Michael Rebula, the Shadow, will be back there as well. Don't sleep on Corio Bay.
Yeah, it was a little disappointing last year, and they really did have to rebuild on the fly, and they've done a great job of that this season. I think what I'm seeing here is Corio are going to be better than last year. Both teams coming into the league, I think, will both be competitive, and we're going to have a really bunched up lineup going into finals.
Hutchie doesn't do things in halves, mate, I'm telling you. So, Hawthorn, speaking of Corio Bay, Latham, Big Latham's gone from Corio Bay to Hawthorn. They've added some other pieces at Hawthorn. Don't sleep on them either. They're not making up numbers this season. Ricky Dehan, by the way, we've seen him run around for Western Port, the shock jock. He's gone over to Casey. They've also picked up Jordan Page and Matt Donlan. Casey, for mine, are going to be right in the mix.
Yeah, Lemmy Lemon's back there as well again for another season. I think they're all in. Both teams.
All in.
And women, they want championships
titles.
this year.
They want titles, no doubt about it. So their state champ, man, it's going to be a cracking competition. Gets underway with all other divisions this weekend. It's round 1 coming up in Big V. Tomorrow night, speaking of Lenny Lemon, speaking of Casey, and speaking of Tenali Hood, we go out and catch up with the power couple of the Big V. Thursday night, gone but not forgotten. That'll be a bit of fun. Friday, we're looking at all the big games for round 1. We're not too far away from opening tip-off Big V season 2018. We'll be back to talk more tomorrow night on Big V TV. See you then.